Installing the hands is the most delicate operation for beginners in watchmaking. Please watch this video until the end before starting. To give you the best chance, we will go over some theory and observe the components involved. At first, let us observe the three-wheel axis on which the hands will be assembled. The system is called the motion work mechanism. Here, the eyeglass becomes your best friend. The gear ratio generate this division and allow you to read the time on a 12-hour dial. Here are their names: the hour wheel, the cannon pinion, and the seconds pivot. Each of them turns at a specific speed. Now let's talk about your hands. Once you've unpacked them carefully, you'll notice that there are two sets. This will allow you to start again if one of them is damaged. Each hand consists of a board and a tube. The tubes will tell you the correct direction. They must be down, from top to bottom. The seconds, the minutes, and the hours. These are very fragile pieces that need your full attention. Remember to use only as much force as you can to grip them with your tweezers. You could scratch or bend them. Here are a few ways to handle them. Let's start with the hour and minute hands. This hand model allows you to grab them by the assurement, or more simply, by the board. Remember to apply as less pressure as possible on your tweezers when handling. If you are a beginner and are not yet comfortable with tweezers, make a small piece of Rodico and handle them like this. They can also be gripped by the tube, but it's more difficult. If you can't get them to go in the right way, here's a little tip. The seconds hand is even finer and more delicate, but the same advice applies. Try to grab it by its tube. You can also grab it by the tail of the board. It's more safe. We advise you to practice before attempting a fitting. Now, a very important point is the inclination of the hands. Once fitted, they must be perfectly parallel to each other. You will have to check by setting the time to make sure this does not happen. If the hands touch each other, the watch may stop completely. Keep in mind that the most important thing is that the hands are not obstructed in their rotation. To avoid it, you must adjust them during the installation with the hand-fitting tool. Here, the movement is exaggerated for the example. For the minute hand, only focus on being parallel to the hour hand. This technique must not be used on the seconds hand. You could bend or break the pivot. Another way to redress a hand is to use a small piece of soft plastic. Fold it as follows. This will allow you to go under the hand and bend it very carefully. You will have to go gradually to find the plasticity zone of the hand and not to damage it. This technique can be used with any hand. It can also be done with tweezers, but this is more risky. Another notion, this time more aesthetic, is the indexing of the hour and minute hands. When your hour hand is aligned with one of the indexes, your minute hand must be centered on the 12 o'clock index. In general, a watchmaker will test the positions at 3, 6, 9, and 12 o'clock. Checking for parallelism at all four positions is highly recommended. Here you can see an example of conformal indexing and its opposite. Move on to the next video to prepare the date jump and start the fitting.